and it's going to be a raw fig caramel slice. So I've got like half a cup of nuts, and I've just mixed raw cashews and raw almonds, which I got from the Source bulk food store. Yum. And then to that I'm going to add, I don't know, just like a nice dessert spoon of pepitas, 3 dessert spoons of coconut oil, and then a little bit of rice syrup. I mean, you could use honey, which would make it not vegan, or you could use maple, which would probably be my first choice, but I'm just really into this rice malt syrup at the moment. And I'm just gonna go 1.5 dessert spoons of that guy. Crush those guys a little bit. Now I'm going to add half a cup of desiccated coconut, food store. Should be like, see how it's a bit like clumpy, and I could smush it together and shape it. That is what's going to set when you put it in the fridge later and create like a nice little nut crunch. Alright, now that we have our base, I'm going to make mine in ice cube trays because I live in a van and I don't have a baking tray. But usually I make them in like a thin baking tray so I can press down the base, then put the centre and the chocolate topping. But these are really cool. See how they have the little like silicone bendy guys? It means it's super easy for me to pop out after I've made them. And I've cut them in half because they fit in our little van fridge perfectly like that. So I'm just going to dollop some mix in and then come around my hands and smush it into the side. Now it is obviously easier when you're making it just in a tray because you can just layer the base down. This is a little bit tedious because it is so bendy, these things. But yeah, just make sure your bottom is covered and bring it up the sides. Like so. I'll just go through and do all of these, and then I'm going to put these in the fridge so that it's firm when I go to add the filling. Make a perfect little mouthful. Alright. Hectically windy day here in Mount Garnet. But yeah. Anyway, so these caramel fig tarts, or slice, however you want to shape it really, they're going to be refined sugar-free, gluten-free, vegan, raw, and I'm also going to load a few little superfoods inside, so they're going to be super healthy, no naughties at all, but delicious and a little sweet treat. And I'm like a massive sweet tooth, so having these in the fridge helps me from eating a whole block of chocolate. Perfect little cases. And so obviously coconut oil solidifies when it gets cold. And so these are all going to go hard and crunchy little bases. Alright, in this little guy I've got like 2 dessert spoons of coconut oil, and look, like a knob and a bit of cacao butter. Yeah, that's the best measurement I'm going to give you. And I'm just going to put that over a double boiler, so this is just heating up water so it can softly melt, and then once that's melted we will make the caramel. Alright, so now for the base, I've just chucked in like 1/4 cup of raw cashews, and as you can see they've gone like fine powder. And over here I've been soaking some dates and dried figs. I'll just slap them in so that you can see. See, these dried figs are like one of my favourite snacks. I just love them. So, the coconut oil and cacao that we've melted with an added gum nut, because it's bloody windy here, it's going in. I have removed the gum nut. And then that guy. Alright. Now I'm going to add some supplements. This is a reishi powder, which is like a super amazing medicinal mushroom. I get mine from Super Feast because they're ethical in how they get it, and they're a small family business, and I know the person who love them. And I'm also going to add some maca powder and some lucuma. Maca powder's kind of got like a little bit of a carameliness about it, but it's like a mind superfood, and it's linked to like having strength, and it's really good for gut health. It's amazing. And lucuma actually does help make things a little bit sweeter, but it's also just really high in antioxidants and super good superfood. But all of them are completely unessential for the recipe. They're just like a really nice add-on. I'm going to add just like a heaped teaspoon of the rice malt syrup. It's already super sweet because of the dates and the dried figs, so you don't even have to add that if you don't want to. A little bit more coconut oil powder. I don't want too much of that because it's pretty full on. It's pretty overpowering. I think I'm only going to add a teaspoon and a half, and that's just going to add a slight tinge of chocolatiness to the caramel. My nice raw caramel tart, or as my best mate Emil would say, caramel tart. Swing-a-ding-ding. So this is super hard because big teaspoon, tiny tart case, but you get the idea. Yeah, if you just bash them down, it makes it all fall to the bottom. Now, I'm not even vegan or on a raw diet, but I do appreciate food that tastes amazing and is still good for me. But you do what you do. Yum. Okay, I'm going to keep loading these, and then we'll let them set in the fridge while we melt down some chocolate. Also, you may. Yum. Alright, now I'm going to slide these little puppies into the fridge until they're firm, but I mean, you could do it overnight. But it's probably going to take 3-4 hours. Good morning, legends. Alright, these little guys have been in the fridge overnight, and as you can see, they're nice and set and firm. And so now we're going to make the chocolate top. Now you could just use vegan chocolate or whatever chocolate, dark chocolate, but I've got more raw cacao butter, but this one's a different one. It's a dark one, but it's like, it's bitter and it's not naturally sweet. So I'm going to add some things to it. I'm just going to melt it down over a double boiler. Oh, she's excited. And then I'm going to add a little bit of rice malt syrup and some more virgin coconut oil. And if you're using vegan chocolate or dark chocolate, I would still add the coconut oil because it makes it all like shiny and glossy. Alright. This amount of cocoa, I'm just going to add probably just under a dessert spoon. But I still want it to solidify. Let that go, and then I'm going to take it. Oh, look at it. Because this is just bitter and quite plain in flavour. But if you were using vegan chocolate or even dark chocolate, I'd still use the coconut oil because it gives a nice glossiness and changes the texture. But with me using cacao mass, it means that I know exactly how much sweetener is going in it and what kind of sweetener, and I've just got a bit more control of, the goodness factor. And see, it's quite ribbony, and you can see how glossy and shiny it is from the coconut oil. I love it. I'm just going to do a little dollop. So, I always like to top everything with colourful bits. That's why my original food company was called Loud Food. I like it bright. top these little guys and then put lots of yummy bits on top. And as you can see here, I put hemp seeds, coconut shreds, some cacao nibs, a little pepita, and a goji berry. Alright, we did it. So we have raw vegan fig and caramel tarts. They're refined sugar free, they're gluten free, they're dairy free, they're loaded with goodness. Get them. Check them out. Pop out. So I'm just going to pop all of mine out to keep ours in a container, but I'll show you what's going on in there. Oh, such a good texture. And with the fig in there, you get all these little poppy bits from the fig seed. So it's like a soft caramel to bite through, little pops of figness. You get the chocolate,